So I was just like, excusez-moi, this is not a grower. Did I get tricked again? There's really only one take, right? For champagne opening. Here we go, here we go. Keep your thumb over at all times. Keep the cage on. And just gonna kind of twist the bottom. Ooh, and just wiggle this out. Ooh, that whisper. She is open. She's open for business. Now, don't at me. Yes, I have a stemless glass. Why? Because I'm not in my usual home. Ooh. Hi guys, it's Vivian the Somm Next Door. Welcome back. Today we're gonna be talking about champagnes, and not just any champagnes, but grower champagnes, and how to find them, a little bit about them, and some tastings. So if you like this content, please hit that thumbs up button and subscribe to my channel, and let us get started. Okay, so yes, I am not in my normal setup. As you can see, this is not my normal couch. So I'm in Hawaii right now again. So it's been also kind of interesting to kind of find my new spots to find champagnes. So the two spots that I've liked so far in Honolulu is Vintage Wine Cellar and surprisingly Foodland in Ala Moana Shopping Center. Although I had a little bit of a hiccup with one of the sales guys, but that's okay. We'll discuss that a little bit later. This episode's all about grower champagnes and why you guys should get them for New Year's Eve, or just in general. Just in general, any time is good for champagne, if your budget allows for it. Now, what is a grower champagne? Grower champagnes are basically producers who actually also grow the grapes. And you're like, oh, they don't all do that? No. A lot of famous champagne houses actually buy their grapes from other growers. And how you can tell is on the back, or on the label, it can be in the front or the back, you'll see NM. So I don't know if you can see that right there, but so this is actually not a grower champagne. I picked this up though because I was like, oh, interesting. So this is the little story about the Ala Moana wine store person. So I was asking, hey, do you have any grower champagnes? And one of the first ones that he picked out was this bottle, which is a Philippe Glavier champagne. But then when I looked back at it, I was like, but this is NM. NM stands for Négociant Manipulant. Negociants, right, are the ones who buy it. And he's like, oh yeah, you're right. ... And I was just like, what? So it's one of from like the Grand Cru villages, 100% Chardonnay. It went through malolactic fermentation. So it was like kind of more of that bready creaminess, lemon, brioche, really, really delicious. And I had it with some oysters, which I tried to open up myself without a shucking knife, and I did it with a butter knife. Not recommended. Don't do that. And this one went for around $58. Granted, okay, I'm in the US, so you already got that French tax on here. And then you also have the fact that I'm in the island in the middle of the Pacific Ocean, so everything has to get imported even further, so that also makes this quite expensive. I would imagine in the mainland, it'd probably be closer to 50, and then maybe elsewhere in Europe, it's probably like $40, maybe even less. Gotta top off. All right, the second champagne is actually a grower champagne, and you will know that because it says RM. So the reasons why I like grower champagnes instead of big houses is that they're just like more personality, more artisanal wines. So the point of these large champagne houses is to make a consistent product year after year. You don't want to buy above 1 year and then the next year it'd be totally different. That is not what they are selling. So grower champagnes is unique because they will craft their champagnes, and it could be different each and every year. There could be a vintage champagne that they produce, which means that all the grapes come from one year. This one is 40% Chardonnay, 40% Pinot Noir, I think 10% Pinot Meunier, and that means 10% of something else. Grower champagnes are just a little bit more interesting, a little bit more exciting each year. You don't necessarily get the same product. So this was actually the same price as the Philippe Glavier. You know, to be honest, I think this Philippe Glavier was a little bit easier to drink, but this was very, very interesting. I've never had bubbles that were so like vivacious and like vigorous. It was like persistent, but very fine bubbles. It had a slight bitterness and lots of like orchard fruits. This one also went through malolactic fermentation, but it wasn't as bready or round as the other two champagnes. So that brings me to the one that I'm drinking right now, which it is definitely the better champagne. And the price reflects that too. So this baby was $84. Hopefully again, because I'm in Hawaii, you guys can find it for a little bit cheaper, but a Vilmart NC non-vintage Premier Cru. And again, you will see on the very back, it says NM, it's a négociant. Why did I not even check that? I was just so certain that this was a grower champagne. So it's known for being a grower champagne. Is not only one of the greatest grower estates in Champagne, but one of the finest champagne producers. But then why does this say NM in here? Okay, I have found out what is happening. I found this on Somm Select. Historically, Vilmart's bottles were labeled with RM, which means grower producer. Head of Vilmart, he decided to rent 1 hectare vineyard from his cousin. Legally, you may not carry RM, the grower producer designation, if you purchase/rent more than 5% of your production. So because of that, they had to switch it to NM. Wow, very fascinating. Okay, I feel a little bit better. I really was gonna have a conniption. I'm just being like, this isn't real. I mean, I did some research and it's like the grower, this is a known grower producer label that's been making wonderful champagnes. I just learned about the really, really strict laws of champagne to call yourself a grower producer, which, is really hard because I'm sure the plots in Champagne are small. So if you want to be able to make a certain amount of production, you might need to rely on some other people's grapes. So I guess you really just have to do your research, which makes me wonder, maybe I'll go look into Philippe Glavier again. If I had to rank it, I think this one's delicious. And then I would have go actually with the Philippe Glavier for number 2 and the Chartogne-Taillet. No offense, this was also delicious, but we got stiff competition. Woo! And cheers, you guys. Happy New Year's. I love you all. Thank you guys for joining. Cheers. I'll catch you guys later.